The Bitcoin right now, it's extremely well positioned to take advantage of what's coming, right? I agree with Timothy on the fact that Trump did promise a lot and he has to deliver.
Every cycle that we saw, 2017, 2021, and maybe the one that we're going to see next year, has had always a different set of winners.
Meme coins in general are quite risky, but people are also looking at the history of how it rallied before. So there's that saying, you know what, strength begets strength.
Because the Democrats, they actually tightened everything. And now with the Republicans, they're gonna loosen up.
Hello, everybody. Today, Bitcoin hit $90,000 and the crypto market is over $3 trillion, which is absurd. Trump is now the president of the United States of America, and he has full control of every single power in America. What are we going to see today in this episode? We're going to talk about crypto. We're going to talk about altcoins. We're going to talk about shitcoins and meme coins too. So get ready and let's get prepared.
All right, let's go.
Okay. All right. So first questions first, right? A little bit of Akeem. What was the first question? Let's start there.
So the question, and I'm a little bit a crypto skeptic, right? But I'm not gonna share my opinion. I want to hear what you guys have to say. You're the bulls here. So Bitcoin reached 90K. Maybe as we speak, maybe it's already at 95. Maybe it's already at 100K, because it's been just so volatile these days. What does Bitcoin need to do to go beyond 100K per Bitcoin? There's like a real battle now. At least that's the sense I have. Bulls versus bears around the 90K. We keep dipping below, we keep going above 90K, and then again below, and then again above 90K. What catalyst here do we need for Bitcoin to continue going up and for crypto to continue rallying? Or do you think is it already the peak, perhaps? Because I mean, $3 trillion market cap. What do you think, Mimi? Do we have more space here to go?
I mean, like, honestly, a lot of us crypto investors expected for this rally, this bull cycle to be triggered in full force when Trump won. But I think I would think that a lot of people would agree with me that many of us didn't expect Bitcoin to catapult over 80K into 90K before November even finished. When we're not even mid-November yet, and it's already above 90,000. So the narrative was Q4 2024, it was going to be 80,000, and that's where we will see it possibly. But now that's just way beyond that. And 100K is very possible, but there will be a bit of a tug of war between bears and bulls. And what we might see, the case now is, at some point soon, hopefully at the end of the year, is Bitcoin dominance to go down. I think that is the most important for the market overall, so that the alt season can begin. I'm sure some people would disagree with that, and that it's already happened. But alt season, I truly believe, isn't here, and it will be triggered in full force in the Q1 of 2025, and we need Bitcoin dominance to come down. I love that Bitcoin is rallying. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. Love Bitcoin, still leader of the pack, but we need that dominance to go down for everything, for the other coins, for the altcoins to shine. How it will get there? Look, I always say crypto overall is a beast to be reckoned with. It's so unpredictable. We know that the bull cycle has started, but how strong it would surge, we have no idea. Just like how quickly it would crash, we also have no idea in a bear market. But that's my thoughts for now. And obviously, Trump inauguration will kickstart it. Bring it up to the next.
I just feel, and then I'll leave it to Timothy. I see Timothy boiling. I just feel that all the good news are already behind, all the catalysts are already behind. So the ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's behind us. The election of Donald Trump, pro-crypto, that's already behind us, right? We have the news that he's elected. We know already that Elon Musk is going to work in administration. We even know Charles Hoskinson, the Cardano founder, is going to work through his firm as an advisor for the Trump administration. All the good news are already behind us. I mean, there's not much to look forward to and to justify a continued rally from here. What do you think, Timothy?
I think you're wrong. So I don't know if you read about it, but Trump made a lot of promises, talking about how he's gonna adopt Bitcoin as a reserve. And there's already a pact for the government to buy 1 million Bitcoins. So that's gonna be laid out to the parliament, I guess. So that's something to look forward to. Maybe deregulation of crypto, because the Democrats, they actually tightened everything, and now with the Republicans, they're gonna loosen up, loosen up the regulation, make it more easier to for crypto companies to grow, make it more easier for bigger companies to adopt to Bitcoin. Bigger institutions have less will be less scared to buy Bitcoin and maybe even Ethereum, because that's more the tech play. So in my opinion, there's still a lot of things that will and should happen which will bring Bitcoin above 100k, together with also the cycle which is in play right now. We're entering the third year, which is always the most bullish year of each cycle, and that brings like a fulfilling prophecy. Like everyone is watching. If you read Twitter, everyone is really waiting and watching for the third year, putting money in it, waiting for retail to come. Okay, retail is already here, but right now I'm getting calls of people asking me, could I sell? But those are the people who bought the previous cycle at 60k, 64k. Once the sell wall there is left, we will get another push much higher, and Bitcoin can go up for multiple months. Now it's broken out of a 8 month consolidation. And what we're seeing now is very normal compared to other cycles. It's nothing out of the ordinary. So we are right where we should be with Bitcoin, and it still has like the potential to go beyond 100k.
Yeah, the Bitcoin right now, it's extremely well positioned to take advantage of what's coming, right? I agree with Timothy on the fact that Trump did promise a lot and he has to deliver. Because right now, well, one of the things that we spoke in the last episode was what was Dimitri's mentioned, what was going to be Trump's legacy, right? And could Bitcoin be? I mean, he at least in the running, he did sort of put a lot of emphasis on it, right? So it's very interesting what's coming because of, how can I say this? It's the all of a sudden, let's say countries start buying, and let's say the United States starts buying Bitcoin as a reserve currency, right? Or as a reserve asset, just to put on the side, because I mean, since inception, I think one of the statistics was 150% year on year, which is absurd. Even with its extreme volatility, year on year, you're getting 100% returns on that asset, which is, every less than a year for your capital to double, when usually in the S&P 500 we're talking about 7 years for a double. Maybe with the Nasdaq we're talking 5, so it's like it's been a wealth creating tool for a lot of investors. That being said, there's a lot of regulation that could come in. For example, if Trump, now that he has gotten a full sweep, he can say, okay, like, let's reduce the capital gains that you have on crypto assets and crypto gains. Would be massive. The fact that one of the things that you mentioned, Akim, was what was it? The Bitcoin ETF. The Bitcoin ETF has something very particular, right? It's the fact that you can actually put it in tax beneficial accounts like the IRA, or in all of a sudden any capital gains that comes from that comes at zero. So all of a sudden you're looking at in other places where you could go into stocks, maybe technology, maybe different assets that are not performing so well during the Trump presidency, you can grab those assets and put them into a Bitcoin ETF that's giving you, let's say, 10, 20, 30%. Even that year on year would be fantastic returns. So I think the ETF brings ease of access to a lot of investors that wouldn't actually go in and learn the ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
So that's where particularly I see the sort of like this sort of energy brewing. And one of the, like, I want to leave you guys with this was that retail is still not in this. You know, retail is still looking from the sidelines. If you look at Google Trends, if you look at the charts of Bitcoin and Bitcoin searches, we're nowhere near the tops of 2017 or 2020, 2022, 2021. So I think this rally, at least in the Bitcoin sector or the Bitcoin part, has a lot to do with like hedge funds and big money coming in and saying, we want to have a part of this before countries get in this.
Yeah.
You know?
So we do have a consensus here, I think, is that Bitcoin is going to continue rising, right? This is just the start or maybe the middle of the Bitcoin rally, but the start of the crypto rally. And Bitcoin is likely to push above 100K and perhaps sooner than we think. And there are catalysts still in the future, right? Like an easier regulatory environment, maybe a better fiscal environment also for crypto investors. But every cycle that we saw, 2017, 2021, and maybe the one that we're going to see next year, has had always a different set of winners. So 2017, the set of winners was those tech cryptos, the alternative tech cryptos, so Ethereum, XRP. And then in 2021, the biggest winners were Dogecoin, Shiba, right? Those meme coins that now still have a huge market cap. So which winners and losers do you see for this new cycle and for 2025? Maybe we can start with Mimi.
It's really always difficult to pinpoint exactly which coins will be the exact winners. But if we look at the broader picture, there, as we already know, there's a shift from utility to meme coins. So everyone's talking about, obviously Bitcoin is the narrative at the moment, but meme coins is also the narrative, and that will be for a little more while. So everyone's just focused on meme coins at the moment. It's all about the hype. It's all about the community. It's all about the story. But so the meme coins will do very, very well. We're talking about Doge, we're talking about Pepe, we're talking about whatever else is in that category.
So you think sorry for interrupting, just to be clear, you think the old meme coins like Doge and Shiba, they kind of lost a little bit their wow factor that they had in 2021? You still think they have room to grow? They have a market cap of what, 30 billion at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they still have room to grow?
I personally do think there is still room to grow with those tokens there, because there's that theory as well that you look about strength and history. So meme coins in general are quite risky, but people are also looking at the history of how it rallied before. So there's that saying, you know what, strength begets strength. So you're looking at not just hype, but how did they perform before? And I think there is still some room for that. There won't be 100x or 50x or anything. You never know in crypto, but so that's long gone. And so people will still be, especially people retail who want to minimize that risk a little bit. Most of them or some of them, they would be looking at Doge again. They were looking at Pepe again, Shiba, all of that. So there is room there, just not to the extent that it was when they first started. And then people will look at the ones that are the new Pepes, the new Shibas, the new Doge. I still think that in terms of altcoins, Ethereum, Solana, Binance, Ripple, of course, still will have their moment. But there is a shift from utility to meme coins. And then when we're looking beyond meme coins, it's AI. And that's something I'm sure we'll get into a little bit more. And that's something that's very, very exciting for me.
Timothy?
So you asked us to pick several coins to give coins that will perform well.
Yeah, I guess basically what I'm asking is, are XRP, ADA, LTC, so Litecoin, are they dead? And I mean, Mimi mentioned that there's a shift from utility to meme, and that now we are perhaps going to see for this new cycle a shift from meme to AI. So Mimi will give us more details on her AI picks. What do you think, Timothy? Or you think we're just going to stay in this meme craze? From the 10 coins that are up today, the ones that have the best performance today, all 10 of them are relatively new meme coins. They were all founded this year and last year. So is this telling us a story that this new cycle, the 2025 cycle, is going to be again a meme cycle, but new meme coins? What are your
So,
picks? Yeah.
yeah, first of all, you asked about ADA, XRP, Litecoin. I don't really think you should categorize those in one box, because I have Solana and it's an older coin. I have also ADA now on my watch list. It had quite a good pump and broke out, so keeping an eye on those. But XRP and especially Litecoin, they haven't performed really that well in the last 1 or 2 years. So for me personally, I'm gonna avoid those, and that's what the most degen traders are gonna do as well. They're not going to stick there and waiting until something happens. No, they're gonna go and ride the wave that's already going higher and higher. For now, that's especially meme coins, and it started with Doge and also a little bit of Pepe last week. And what you're seeing is rotation. The degens, they always want to go beta. So what's beta to Doge? You're gonna have WIF, dog with head. You're gonna have even now smaller million market cap dog coins that's going to 1 billion. So I'm not gonna chill them here, but I know on eToro they don't have those coins, but I'm watching them on my watch list, and you see money flowing out of Doge going into WIF. Yesterday was the WIF pump. You see money flowing out of WIF is going into the next dog coin. What we're seeing now is the cat coins pumping. So you have Mark, you have Mew, you have other cat coins pumping. So the traders are constantly rotating into the next category. And if you're really going to stick this cycle, you have to accept you pick your coins, and those coins have to be strong, but just stick with them. Don't go trying to catch each wave, because the time it's pumped 40%, you know by the next week all the money will be gone into the next category. What you do is you stick in one category, you wait, you have the pump. I'm going to stay in Doge and Pepe with my eToro portfolio. I know it's gonna correct down, maybe buy a bit more if it's a decent correction. And next thing you know, it's gonna pump again, especially if Bitcoin continues to go up. But I try to focus on those that really continue to grow in an uptrend, and try less to focus on those that kept flat for over 1 or 2 years, like XRP.
So basically, you're saying don't buy the peak, zoom out, and buy the momentum, right? Buy the ones that have been performing well in the past few months, not the ones that have been performing well in the last few days, right? Nestor, your picks.
Actually, in all honesty, I want to hear yours. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it simple for sure. Like I want to see how you are seeing this, because you're the other side of the coin, right?
Yes,
so
look.
let me tell you this. I think Bitcoin is gonna do fantastic. Do I know if all of the other coins and all the other projects are gonna do well? I have no idea. In all honesty, it's the truth. I don't like. Sometimes I put a little bit of money, a little bit of percentage of my portfolio. But hey, I have to believe in the project. I have to believe in the people. There's a lot of hope. I'm praying in each of the projects. Maybe they come, maybe they are the best second layer solution or whatever. But the reality is, I have no idea. So my question would be, it's like, what do you think, Akeem, is gonna be the outcome of all of this that's happening right now, given the fact that you don't that you have a skepticism on the industry altogether. I think Bitcoin is going to do great. I think buy Bitcoin and hold it until the dollar becomes this paper.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's Venezuelan peso, right?
Venezuelan bolívares, which is like I have a 2
Bolivares, okay.
and I have a 50,000. Which one do you want? I can make everybody millionaires.
So look, I work in finance, so in a very very boring financial environment, traditional finance, nothing crazy, no crypto involved, and I am quite old school. So given those, it's difficult for me to understand why I should put my hard-earned money in meme coins. So the way I deal with my eToro, because on eToro so I have like more than 600 copiers, right? So they have exposure to my portfolio, and I don't want to do anything crazy and anything beyond the core strategy and the core reason they decide to copy me. And the only cryptos I have exposure to are the ones with regulatory clarity. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, I have exposure to those two. They are less than or around 10% of my portfolio. Only Bitcoin, Ethereum, we have the ETFs. The SEC are not going to deem them as, I don't know, illegal securities or whatever. So there's limited regulatory risk there. And I'm thinking longer term. So Trump administration is not going to be risky for other coins, even though Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC, has not resigned, and Trump cannot fire him, right? So we could have again a no moment like we had with Jay Powell. We could have it with Gary Gensler, who's going to say, no, I'm not leaving. And then I can tell you the crypto market is going to crash if Gary Gensler is saying that he's staying. Just saying. And I'm thinking longer term. So what comes after Trump, right? Of course, we don't know who's going to be the new president after Trump, but the regulatory framework could easily change. And if he loses the midterm elections 2 years from now, which coincides, by the way, with probable bear market, if we look at the cyclical pattern of Bitcoin, I see a too big risk to go beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment. So if the SEC approves additional ETFs and institutional investors' money go into some other coins, I will consider those other coins, but I'm not going beyond those coins for my Toro fund. But then at personal level, at private level, but like super private level, and I never disclose my super private portfolio, I do have cryptos and I do have some meme coins, but this is money that I absolutely don't need. It's like, I don't know, tips that I receive, or when I sell something on eBay, I take the money, I put it, on those meme coins. But there I have very, very little conviction on those, right? But if I see that the regulatory framework is going to change now with the new Trump administration, and that we really have legal clarity on crypto, I will expand my horizon beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. But for the moment, I am not comfortable owning coins that are useless. They are funny, but they're useless, and where the legal risk is just too big, right? So that's my view.
That's fair enough. That makes a lot of sense. And at the end of the day, it really depends on what type of investor you are and what your passion, where your passion lies and everything. For me, if I had to, this is not financial advice, it's just my own very opinion on how I structure my portfolio and my investment in general. Obviously, a lot of my convictions are in my eToro portfolio. So my top cryptos are there to see: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Solana, Fetch AI. And AI is something that I'm very, very passionate about right now, because I'm trying to see the broader picture. So right now we're all talking about the US election, we're talking about Bitcoin, but there's so much more to that. And we haven't even touched on the halving, which it's still playing in. There's only 6% left of Bitcoin to be mined as well. So the scarcity narrative there is in play. Now, in terms of how I structure my investments, my highest convictions are definitely in the ones that have the larger cap, the OGs, the ones that have survived the test of time. And then there's also the shift, the meme coin. I do have my own private as well outside, only because accessibility, there's not many on eToro, but also it's also money that I'm happy to part with. And that's just something as a crypto trader, everyone's got that as well. But what I see is there's going to be this shift. There's utility, meme coins, then like the hype, then it's going to be back to utility. But the great thing about AI is that it's utility and hype at the same time. And you've got to think AI is a no-brainer. Blockchain technology, especially, people think it's just this like really complicated idea or technology, but it really is efficient code. Blockchain technology is efficient code, simple as that. We've always had code. We've always had, developers developing games. But the thing is, it's going to get to a point, it probably already has happened, that people, all of us in our day-to-day lives are using something that is using blockchain technology and we don't even know it. And the way AI plays into that, were you going to say something?
Yeah, actually, how because I'm following you, but how can AI be used here in crypto? Actually, how can an AI crypto be useful?
So they basically will have their own ecosystems where developers can go in there and then they can create their own projects, and then they've got their own tokens. So we talk about Fetch AI, which is on eToro. I think that's about like probably fourth on my portfolio. And I did an analysis on Fetch AI, which has merged with two other tokens a few months ago. And now it's called Artificial Super Intelligence. So ASI is what it's called. So it's 3 tokens, Fetch AI, Ocean Protocol, and the other was Agix, I think, which are both not on eToro from memory, but that's what it is. So the way AI plays a part is that it will have its own platform, its own ecosystem, its own, like developers will go on there and its own tokens. AI will then take place of, I'm not saying take the jobs of developers, but it will really make everything more efficient and streamline the work and develop these games. So AI is going to be the next narrative. And I'm thinking further ahead where we're going. That's why I have, if I was going to name some tokens that I have, is like Beam, AOS Network, Superverse is therein as well, because NFTs, I believe, will come back during this meme cycle as well. I truly believe it will. Not financial advice. Don't go off and just you sell your house and buy some NFTs. But
so buy all the crypto punks is what you're saying.
But in terms of my highest convictions, it's definitely the ones that are the strongest ones: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Solana, Binance, Tron, all of that. Sui, what's Sui, man?
All right. We've got quite a list here.
Yeah, here. Well, I think we're coming close to the end, so it would be interesting, to kind of get a one word, just one word from each of us, kind of saying, should you buy or should you sell the crypto boom?
Not financial advice. Is that one?
It's the truth. But so Mimi, tell me, should you? This is not financial advice. Do your own research. This is what we're doing with our money on our own portfolios. Mimi,
what's the question again?
Should you buy or should you sell the crypto rally that we're seeing right now?
Not hold. Don't answer hold. Either you buy, either you sell. If you have to choose one of the two.
What about if you've already got it? You've got to just chill and hold. But if you have it, my advice is have your investments in now if you haven't, like right now, and then let it go. Then look at the future. Let it go, look at the future. There's going to be volatility along the way, for sure. In December, Kim, I think you mentioned recently that there will be volatility. I do agree with you. The harder the rally, the more volatility, the more pullbacks, the more corrections. So we have to ride through that. But my advice is, yes, buy in now if you haven't. Fill it all up, place all your investments, and then just leave it. But right now is
Timothy, tell me.
Yeah,
Buy or sell?
That was more than one word. I'm just saying.
Buy.
Now give me a small explanation.
make it easy. Buy.
I'm too excited.
Just know it could go to 70K tomorrow and then pop up again to 90K the next day. There's volatility. Embrace it, accept it, but you gotta hold some Bitcoin.
Akeem.
I am holding for a little bit longer and then I'm selling.
Christmas?
You're gonna sell at 100K.
Probably. Probably. I will not tell my target, but Timothy, you guessed it. So
For me,
Nesta?
simple. For me, simple. For me, it's like right now, place your bets with money that you're willing to lose. So buy with what you can afford to lose.
Well said.
Okay.
best advice. All right.
Yeah.
Great
You want to show
chat.
us your Bolivares again?
Yeah. So I
Careful,
have, look.
careful not to make sure your crypto holdings don't end up like the Venezuelan currency.
Like
right?
the Venezuelan Bolivar. Look, like we went from the 2 to the 10 to the 20 to the 100 to the 50,000.
50,000 and they all worthless. Huh?
Yeah, they're all worthless, you know?
And Mimi, next year you're gonna be Dogecoin, Shiba, Pepe, they're all worthless. But I have them. I have millions of them.
Next year I'll fly all of you guys business class and we'll do the podcast physically
Live.
together.
Sponsored by.
All right, guys.
Good job.
That was
Good job,
great.
guys.
All right. Thank you.